Friends, Father Frank Pavone here, National Director of Priests for Life. Welcome to my daily diary. This is for Friday, November the 4th, Saturday, November 5th, and Sunday, November the 6th of 2022. So the morning of Friday, I was here at my office, did early Mass, did a special homily for the final push for the election, and then this was for later broadcast, and then a special push for this homily throughout the day, getting it out far and wide to as many Americans as possible. I did some work at my desk and got ready to leave for the airport. Final packing of materials. I was picked up at 10:15 a.m. to go to, of course, I had my staff briefing, administrative phone calls, and various side meetings with staff before leaving. And then went to the Orlando airport, worked on the way on the phone, and some emails in regard to upcoming orders for books, interview requests, plans for the elections, and for our election night broadcast. Correspondence, that is our staff that answers correspondence. I was providing some information for them for their answers. And e-blasts and appeals that go out from Priests for Life, giving my final approval to the texts of those. I flew out of Orlando at 1:15 in the afternoon to Cleveland. At Cleveland, Ohio, I was picked up by one of the local pro-life leaders, brought to my hotel, where I did some more work in communication with my office and staff, and conversation with our administrative team. And then at 6:30 I was picked up from the hotel to go to a banquet at which I was the main speaker. This was for a group called LifeWorks, and LifeWorks Ohio, and it was at a Ukrainian Catholic church. Nice big group of people, maybe 400 or so. And I gave a talk. Auxiliary Bishop Roger Grease, retired auxiliary of Cleveland, who's always been a supporter of Priests for Life, was there. I hadn't seen him in a while. And along with the bishop of the Ukrainian eparchy, sat with them both at the dinner, gave a 45-minute talk about the impact of the Dobbs case and where we go from here as a movement. Greeted and interacted with the people until well past 11 p.m. and then was driven back to my hotel. Saturday morning, the 5th of November, I was picked up from the hotel. I actually got the shuttle at 6 a.m. and went to the airport and flew from Cleveland to Atlanta, and then in Atlanta picked up an 11 a.m. flight to Charleston, South Carolina. Now, on the way, again, I'm working on various emails regarding some new staff, again, some correspondence replies, spreading around my special election homily, giving staff instructions about that, and also working on my November-December detailed plan of activities, and I do those 2 months at once at this time of year to settle all kinds of projects and activities. Midday, I landed in Charleston, South Carolina, was picked up by Matt Britton, who is the general counsel for 40 Days for Life, and Matt and I have done different events in different parts of the country. We went out to lunch with his family. We settled in at a local hotel. I did some more email work and checking in with certain staff. And then we went to an evening event at which I spoke again. And this was to this was Saturday, right. We went to the chancery of the Diocese of Charleston. And there I said Mass in what's called the Bishop's Chapel. It's the chapel right on the Chancery grounds. And there were a number of people there from the diocese and from the local community. After that Mass, we went right to the next building next door there on the grounds of the Chancery. And we had our evening event, a dinner and talk that I gave, again, for the conclusion of that 40 Days for Life site and their campaign for this fall. So everyone enjoyed the talk, and we interacted with the people again till pretty late, and then went back to the hotel for the night. Then Sunday morning, November the 5th, up early, working on emails for things like the things I already mentioned, actually, and continuation on planning and approving upcoming interviews and things like that. We headed out at about 8:45 a.m. in the car with Matt and his family. We had a long drive from Charleston to Atlanta, so it was about four hours in the car. During that time, Matt and I were planning a collaborative work between 40 Days for Life and Priests for Life, and we were also updating each other about different goings on in the movement and the pro-life leaders and groups. And then I was also working on my phone and on my laptop on catching up on lots of work and planning, as I already said. We stopped for some lunch, and then we got to Atlanta, and we, as soon as we got there, went to a pregnancy center there, in front of which we also had the rally, and near it was an abortion facility. And we did the rally there, again, with prayers and speeches and interacting with the crowds and giving them our encouragement, gave them a prayer of blessing, had a tour of the pregnancy center, did an interview with the one of the center staff people. And then from there, hopped back in the car, went over to the hotel where we were going to stay, about a half hour away, and got settled in there, and then drove another half hour to the evening event, which was at a big Baptist church in Marietta, or just outside Marietta, Georgia. And there were a lot of enthusiastic people there. And as soon as I got in, people were coming over to me, greeting me. We were taking pictures, greeting clergy and laity alike. And then I gave a talk at that event too, again, concluding the fall campaign for the 40 days. And we had a great celebration there. And then at the end of all that, it was about 9:45. We hadn't had dinner yet, so the organizers of that wanted to have dinner with Matt and me. So we went to a local restaurant, and we had dinner there, and we were busy with all of that until like 11:30. But a great conversation, great encouragement and planning for pro-life. And then that was the conclusion of the day. On Saturday, the 5th, or rather Sunday, that was the 6th. I'm sorry, Sunday the 5th of, no, why am I getting this confused? It was Sunday the 6th of November that I'm talking about right here, and that was the conclusion of that day. Oh, and there was a President Trump rally that both nights, Saturday night, didn't get to see the Saturday night one. I'm going to watch the replay. But the Sunday night one from Florida, I was able to see that in the middle of doing all those other things, and it was a great rally that he held in Miami. So that was the itinerary, November the 4th, 5th, and 6th of 2022. Thanks for following these updates, and we'll talk to you soon.